Kelly.
Well, Jen, after all the snow and ice we've seen so far this winter season, I know a lot of you are more than ready for spring.
Oh, yes. Oh, heavens, yes. Oh, my gosh, yes. Yes, but what about your car ready too? Well, Danny Rosenblum is a general manager at Hart Certified Auto Care. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me. At Hart, we have 3 locations in the Chicagoland area, but thank you very much for having me today.
Absolutely. Well, we know that we're trying to make people prepared for their wheels for spring. And speaking of wheels, let's talk about tires. Why should we check the alignment and the tire conditions?
So your tires they're under a lot of stress during the wintertime. And what happens when it warms up is the pothole season comes. And what happens with the potholes is it throws off your alignment pretty drastically. And the alignment adjusts the angles your tires actually sit on the road. And when your alignment is off, what can happen is your tires will wear out very quickly and prematurely. So it's important, especially during the spring, during and after the pothole season, to have your alignment and tires checked.
That's a very good point.
Also, something that can happen with potholes is called an impact bubble. It looks like a bubble on the sidewall of your tire, and that means the rubber actually stretched enough because it was under so much stress that the support that holds the tire's shape is no longer stable. And it's important to replace your tire if you see that.
Good points all there. What about under the hood itself? You know, things like hoses, belts, maybe filters?
It's always important to check that stuff, spring, summer, winter, any time of the year. But during the springtime, what happens a lot is the filters get very dirty just from all the debris and leaves that build up. So it's important to get your cabin filter checked, your air filter checked, and it's always important to make sure your fluids are topped off and full.
Okay, but what about the battery? How often should we be checking the battery?
The battery you should have checked pretty much every time you go in to have your car serviced. Batteries nowadays, the lifespan is about 3 to 5 years, and they don't really warn you before they go out. You can test them, and a test will show how strong or weak it is, but for a regular driver, it's just going to kind of not start one day. It won't slow down or just slow start. A lot of times it just won't start.
Yeah, Danny, that's a good point. I wish we had a battery indicator like we do on our phone
Absolutely.
for our car, right?
Yeah.
So what about the importance of an emergency kit? What should we include in that?
Emergency kits are very important. Important to have in them things like a flashlight, jumper cables, a first aid kit, and then a flare or a cone. So if you're stuck on the side of the road, you can make sure you're warning people driving towards you. Water, a snack. So if you are stuck somewhere, you have something to at least keep going. And definitely a blanket or a heat blanket, something to keep warm if you're in a cold climate.
Okay. He is Dan the man. Danny Rosenblum with Hart Certified Auto Care. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. All right.
Great information.